I'm Henry, and today we're going to be working on some articulation exercises to improve the fronts of your notes, and we're also going to be doing some flexibility exercises to get around the horn much easier and quicker. So, starting with my favorite exercise ever, all time, the trumpet exercise by Stamp. I do it every day, every warm-up. Here we go. Just reposition you here. Sorry about that. Today it's a cooler day in Los Angeles, and boy am I grateful to have not been playing some summer concerts on the hotter nights we've been having the last few weeks. Things can get sweaty when you're in a white suit playing classical music. Okay, cool. Nice. Trumpet exercise done. Going into some scales. I've been doing a lot of low register scales lately, but I think I want to do some high register stuff today. So instead of going lower into the register, we're going to go higher and ascend. We're focusing on articulation during this exercise, and the thing about articulation is it comes from the support in the tummy, actually, more so than from the tongue. And so, yeah, focusing on having that really locked in for the warm-up. So that was 16ths. Now we're going to go back to 8ths. E flat major, now to E major triplets. F major 16th. Alright, F sharp. This one has 7 sharps in the key signature. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess 6 sharps. Almost at the top of the register here. so carrying on with the high register stuff, let's do some harmonic exercises. Nice. So now we get to some of the more fun things to do, the articulation exercises. I'll still do some scales and arpeggios here, but that sort of pattern is useful. So we'll do that in a bunch of different keys and a bunch of different registers. Oh, thanks, Katie. Yeah, welcome. Are you a musician? Oh, okay. Yeah, this is a French horn, by the way. If you're not familiar with all the instruments in the band or orchestra. Oh, thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah, so I'm doing it in a bunch of different registers. So there's a high register, a middle register, and a low register on basically every instrument, but for the French horn, the middle register is this. The high register is. And then the low register. And so when I'm warming up, I have to warm up each register individually and then put it all together. So when I play an orchestra, that I can do everything. So we've done some scales in the high register now. We've done some articulation still in the mid-roll register. I like my repeat articulation exercises, and let's do some arpeggios. One fun thing about doing these fast articulation exercises is that sometimes it feels like it's in triplet, da 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 da, or it can also feel in duple, da 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 da. And then you can just switch keys. When did I learn this? I learned the French horn 18 years ago. I started learning. And then that exercise I learned in grad school. So I went to college for 7 years studying French horn, believe it or not. And I learned that when I was at Yale. So back in 2021. 2021. Katie, if you could play any instrument, what would you play? And I'm not baiting you to say French horn. I promise. How many subscribers do I have? I think around 400. Thanks for subscribing, Katie. I appreciate that. Also, I'm getting a microphone stand today, so I'll finally have a better audio setup for everything going forward. So hopefully I can figure that out. Some chromatic scales now. I'll try that one again. Oh, thanks, Katie. Yeah, these are actually trumpet exercises. It's stuff that trumpet players use to get good. And it's a lot harder to do on horn, I think. I don't actually, you know what? I don't know. It's hard in general. It's hard to play on horn. I don't know if it's harder. But it's harder than what we normally practice on French horn. So I've been trying to like up my game and learn some flexibility exercises from different instrument books. These exercises were by a guy who lived 100 years ago too, which is kind of cool. Yeah, probably more than you bargained for. Learning a lot more. The hardest part of the exercise is I'm supposed to do the last exercise in the highest octave of the horn, which is we'll see if I can do it. tricky. Yeah, that's tricky. Eyes closed how? Oh, I'm not looking at the music. I don't know where the music is. I've been playing that for like a week now, so it's kind of, I remember it. Hello, welcome back, Jeremy. I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, it's a cloudy day. I don't have a concert today. This week we're doing a ballet series, so we're gonna do a bunch of concerts. How many concerts am I doing this week? Let's see how many concerts I'm doing. How are you doing? Do I run out of breath? Yes, you can. But actually, the higher you play, the less air you use. I mean, that's not exactly true. It's really easy to run out of air on low notes. Low notes require a ton of air. So when I'm playing high, it's a lot easier to play long phrases. So I'm doing 3 rehearsals and 5 shows this week in 5 days. So yeah, and they're 3 hours long, each rehearsal and concert. Ooh, ballets, yeah. Practice a bit, spend some time on YouTube, nice. Yeah, so 5 shows. It's this show called Giselle. I had never heard of it before, but it's pretty cool. I've got the music here. Yeah, let me double check. I think I've already downloaded it, but by the way, I mean, if anyone here is a musician and doesn't have an iPad, I feel like now the iPad is the move for getting, tons of music, especially if you travel a lot like I do. Yeah, oh, what a cool, yeah, I mean, it's cool. It's interesting that it's got all 4 horn parts on one page. So, like, when you look at a piece of music, it almost looks like a piano part. But I have to play as 4th horn. I play the 2nd line in the bottom half. So, yeah, pretty cool. 80 pages this ballet is. But again, it's got all 4 horn parts on it. It looks like each part acts pretty independently, though. Somewhat, so there'll be still plenty to play. Yeah, nice. Thanks for stopping by, Katie, and thanks for subscribing. I appreciate that. Yes, back to warming up. Hey, welcome back, Abel. I'm just doing some articulation exercise stuff today. Not every articulation has to happen with the tongue as well. You can do something called breath attacks. So that all happened with no tongue. No, welcome back. Yeah, how's everything going, Abel? Oh. It's a really good idea on a brass instrument to start with breath attacks. It's a good way to get the air going. Hey, welcome, Bubble. Oh, Abel, congrats! You hit 30 subs. That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Yeah, I feel like it's so hard to the beginning subscribers is the toughest. So good for you. I think I subscribed, by the way. Abel, what do you think you're going to post next? Nice, yeah, everyone, go subscribe to Abel. Let's see if we can get Abel to 40 subs. Okay, so Jeremy has a question. Professionals only use double horns, or any case of use of single F or B flat? I would say that 99% of professional horn players use what's called a double horn or a triple horn. So a single horn basically has 3 valves, no trigger. A double has a trigger, and a triple has 2 triggers. And it basically, the trigger, it has these basically shorter tubes at the back. So you have this longer one, which is the F side, and then you have, when you push the trigger down, a slightly smaller one, which is the B flat side. And so when it's shorter, it's easier to play high notes and a couple other things. So yeah, basically you can use it for high notes. How old was I when I started YouTube? I started posting like 5 years ago during the pandemic, and then I didn't post anything until like April of this year, I feel like. And then now I've been posting a lot more regularly and streaming and stuff. But just streaming my warm-up. This is stuff I do anyways, but I'm glad to have the company. Yeah, so yes, most people use double horns. I had a double horn pretty early on. I feel like I started on a single horn. It doesn't make much of a difference if someone is in their first year of playing and, you know, is playing on a single or a double. But once you're in your like second year of playing, it makes a huge difference. What's another key on the triple horn? I think it goes low F, B flat, and then generally high F. And there are some horns that have high E flat. So I don't own a triple, but I feel like most of them are typically F, low F, B flat, like this double horn is. And then on top of that, they'll have a high F, sometimes a high E flat. What is my favorite note or key that I play? I was just saying this the other day. Yeah, probably concert E flat, my B flat. I was practicing an excerpt we have from a Beethoven symphony. There's a second horn excerpt. And it's really fun to play, like when you play really fast in this register, the fingerings are pretty fun. Oh, no way. Yeah, things are growing a lot faster. I've been streaming a lot more, and I find that leads to subscribers more. I was making a lot of shorts, but the content that I was making wasn't really creating enough value to people, and I don't think people were wanting to subscribe. But now people are. And if you're one of those people, thank you and welcome. Yeah. So favorite keys probably E flat, concert E flat. Jeremy, do you compose at all? Do you write any music of your own? That was a little bit from Jurassic Park. Sometimes I like playing those melodies that I don't ordinarily play on horn, but I have them in my head, so. Oh, hey, Katie. Hi. Jeremy does arrangements. Yeah, I do more arrangements than I do original composition. I feel like that's a cool way to get to know the music you really like to play. Or, like for me, I do a bunch of like multi-track arrangements. And I've started doing them for, especially when I was in college, I did multi-track arrangements of like orchestra pieces and solos that I was playing, and I made like at the right tempo. I did all the arrangements for like concertos, so I could just play the music I practiced all the time with the full backup. Abel asks, what's your favorite song that I've played during my live streams? I can't. Let's see. I think I had a lot of fun when I played through Rachmaninoff's Piano Concerto No. 3 the other day. The fourth horn part to it, but it was just really fun listening. Yeah, I think sometimes it's as much fun to listen as it is to play. Sometimes it's more fun to listen than it is to play. Alright, more articulation stuff. I'm going to get out my high register mouthpiece and do some dreaded high register practice. Please forgive me, everyone, but high register needs to get practiced every once in a while. Abel, I can't remember. Are you a musician? It keeps on lagging. Yeah, I've been having some internet trouble today. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's starting to get tricky. Yeah, Jeremy, good point. So Jeremy says song request streams are more popular on YouTube. You know, I'd get more viewers do it. You'd get more viewers doing that. Yeah, I totally think so as well. But my goal here isn't exactly to get as many viewers as possible. It's kind of to just put a window into my warm-ups as what I would already be doing. So I'm not trying to exactly maximize viewership, and I'm grateful for everyone who's here. But this is just kind of the stuff I'm going to already do anyways. And so if I were always doing these like song request streams, I find that it like kind of tires me out. And when I just do my warm-up and then whoever comes, like that's ideal for me. Me and the llama guy. Yeah, I think that was my friend from high school. Yeah. Bye, Katie. Thanks for coming by. I appreciate that. I try to be a very nice guy. Da, 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 da. Oh, this is the stratosphere. Those are that's one of the highest notes on French horn. So gotta take a quick break before I do the last two. But okay. Oh yeah, it's tricky. Did I see the new Jurassic Park movie? Yes, and it gets a thumbs up and a bells up from me. It was fun. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. The beginning of the whole plot, though, I mean, I did find that they were doing a bunch of what is it called, product placement all the time. Like, and this is not a spoiler, but like the reason that everything goes wrong is because like a Snickers bar wrapper like falls into some air vent, and then, you know, dinosaurs take over an entire island. Oh, all right, let me try this. E major again. Abel, have you seen the new Jurassic Park movie? It was fun, and it was definitely worth a watch. Hey there, welcome. Oh, welcome back, man. Yeah, I'm just doing high register articulation exercises, which are some of the hardest things for me to do. So, you know, thoughts and prayers. Oh, I'm on my last one here, so forgive me. It's really hard. That's a hard exercise. I wonder what I could do to improve it. It's a lot easier when I breath attack it, so maybe I'm using more support when I do that. Support is like ab engagement. Maybe I could do some vowel shapes and then keep my lips really close together. Have my bottom lip rolled in a little bit. Okay, let me try those. Oh, I did it once. Boom. You saw my video from 12 years old yesterday. You're already quite competent since then. Thank you, Jeremy. Yeah, that was one of my favorite things. That was my first video I ever recorded of me playing horn. And I loved it because I recorded it on my laptop, and the audio was, it was like the gain was turned all the way up, so I sounded like an electric guitar, and so I was like, electric French horn for the win. I loved that. And yeah, if you watched like a minute in, Jeremy, I like go to turn a page and then all of my music falls off the stand, and that was like my first, like, it's really cool to see those moments when like something goes wrong and you have to see someone like adapt to it, like people where their string breaks playing a violin in concert, and they have to really quickly adapt. And so yeah, it was cool. That's why I like that video so much. So bum 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 bum. Yeah, but I did do well to the end. Yeah, you know what? It's really fun, the context of it, you know. Yeah, that was a cool performance. Okay, I'm so glad I did my high register articulation exercises for the day. I'm gonna try some low register. I find that doing articulation exercises in the low register are really funny because it just sounds kind of muddy, even when it's done perfectly. Oh, thanks for stopping by, Abel. Good to see you. And congrats on 30 subs. Nice job, man. Oh man, that's a tricky one. Hey, welcome, Katie, what's up? I'm doing my low register articulation exercises. Oh joy. I'm trying to make it sound like I'm not slipping around in a puddle of mud. That's so tricky. The fingerings for this are really tough. That note, low G, has one fingering. Most fingerings on French horn, you'll have like 5 alternate fingerings, but there is only one fingering for low G. Yeah, so it's probably I think there are 16 valve combinations that you could make, and that is the second least used. The least used fingering is 1, 2, and 3. Actually, maybe trigger 1, 2, and 3 might be tied, but nice, that was good. Well, good. Okay, here we go. Almost second to last one here. Tricky. Yeah, it's not so often when you've been playing an instrument for 18 years that you get like a fingering combination you've almost never encountered before. I feel like once you've been playing an instrument long enough, like you don't have to think about a lot of things. Things become unconscious. Like when you first learn an instrument, you have to think about, all right, what's the right fingering for this note? Like maybe it's the same on piano, bass clef versus treble clef. And then as you learn and become more of an expert, that becomes like intuition, stuff you don't have to think about all the time. And so, yeah. What's the lowest playable note on my horn? The lowest note possible, I think, is technically an F sharp, an octave below this note. Boom. Like an octave below what I just played. But I can't play that note. I cannot. The lowest note I can play is a concert G, I think. That's about the lowest note I can play. But the lowest note you really ever have to play professionally is concert A. There are only 2 pieces that I can think of that have that note. One is Mahler's Third Symphony. And then there is Shostakovich Fifth Symphony. The whole horn section does it, where they just hold out a pedal F, and I'm pretty sure it's marked like with 3 triple piano, but everyone just plays it basically as loud as they can. Yeah. So I basically got there anyways. that's about as low as I possibly can play, or it's useful practicing. But can it just be handed over to a trombone? Right, exactly. Yeah, when a French horn plays that low, I mean, we can't play as loud, or I think it's like a specific color because it's kind of covered because we've got a hand in the bell, you know, those very low notes. I mean, yeah, or a tuba. This is the thing, is like when you start playing in that register, your job can be handed over to cello, bass, low brass, like trombone and tuba. But also when you play really high, like in woodwind quintet, you end up playing a lot with flute and oboe. And when you're playing like unison with flute and stuff, it's, oh my gosh, a different sort of ball game. So I think I have a lot of experience now that I'm a fourth horn player and I play a lot in the low register professionally. I have a lot of experience playing with and matching trombones and tubas and basses and cello. But yeah, I don't have as much experience playing with like violin or oboe, flute, or clarinet. Um, 47 minutes. How was that for a warm-up? That was a pretty decent warm-up. Did some flexibility stuff, high register, low register. I have my Chantal book out, but I haven't played out of it. I might do one exercise from the Chantal book here. Oh, I remember practicing this one back when I was in college. I wonder if it's any easier. Page turn. Sumil, welcome back. And bye, Katie. Do I recommend any French horn method books? How long have you been playing again, Sumil? The one I'm playing out of right now, by the way, is the Chantal method. It's quite good. I feel like the typical books people recommend are Kopprosch, Kopprasch, and Chantal, Schantl. 2 years? Yeah, Kopprosch is a good bet. Or like the first book of Maxime Alphonse Etudes. Those are really great. I mean, Kopprosch is probably the number one. Do you have a Kopprosch book yet? You have the first book of Koprosh consisting of etudes 1 through 34. Yeah, 35 through 60 are basically the same. Sumil, if you got the Chantal method, there's a cheap version like this where the book just completely falls apart. It's written, it is like $10 or something, or $15. But there's a recently revised edition by Denise Tryon where she fixed all of the editions. It's much nicer. So if you looked up, I don't know, the Chantal method, SCHANTL, that's my recommendation. If you've got Koprosh, good. I find Maxime Alphonse. Hey, welcome back, Abel. If you like fun melodies, I like the Maxime Alphonse etudes. He wrote, I think, 6 books. He was this French guy back in the day, and he wrote like 6 books, and they're all progressive difficulty. I feel like even the first book is pretty tricky, but it's like well worth learning, and it's pretty fun. And then the second, and then the third book. Yeah, the third book was hard but super fun, and same with the fourth book. And then the 5th book is like, whoa. And then the 6th book is like, I don't even want to do this. It's too hard. I remember in college, I think I might have only done 1 etude from the 6th book, or none. But it was like an all-week thing to learn 1 etude. Like, I don't know, 15, 20 hours of practice. And then you're still missing half the notes, sort of thing. But the first book of that 6-book series is awesome. I don't know. Can I write in the chat? Here, let me try writing. I'll write it for you if I can. I can start a poll or a Q&A. What am I doing? I don't know how to do it. I can? How do I do it? Oh. Yep, sorry. I don't know how to chat as a creator here. Yeah. Anyways, oh, cling. Yeah, do cling. I love cling. I remember the first exercise. Yeah, get a cling book. Have I watched Hamilton? Yes, great musical. Total. I listened to it all the time in college. I get pumped up for practice sessions. Listening to My Shot. Super nerdy, but that was a good like motivation hack to get a really good practice session in. The last thing I want to do some clean articulation stuff in the middle and low registers. So. tricky. Favorite classical music, what is my favorite for classical music eras? Baroque, classical, romantic, 20th century. Baroque is out. Sorry, Baroque. Classical, you're good, but I love your piano music, not for French horn. Romantic or 20th century. My two favorite composers are Gustav Mahler and Richard Strauss, and I guess if we include a third, John Williams, and they all happened in the 20th century. So I would say 20th century, but also romantic comes in as second. But I would rate it in that order, from last to first: 20th century, romantic, classical, Baroque. Yeah. That's probably it. Favorite Mozart concerto? My favorite to play lately has been Mozart 3, including the concert rondo. I've never played the concert rondo, and I've never played the, there's a quintet. He wrote a quintet for French horn and then 4 string instruments, not a normal string quartet. It's got 2 violas rather than 2 violins, so kind of weird. Yeah. So, favorite Mozart concerto, third. And how cool is it that, like, one of the best composers, the most genius composers in all of history, he wrote 4 French horn concerti. That's crazy. I'm pretty sure that's because his buddy played French horn. He owned the cheese shop. I played the second one in high school, Sumil. I played that. I practiced. I did all my auditions on it for college. Fourth, I just found it sits too high. You know. High notes, you know. I don't really have a subscription goal for my life. How about you, Abel? You played the exposition of the first movement of the second concerto in a recital, but you still have trouble with the high B flat run. I feel you, man. That's so tough. I mean, I think there's a video of me doing it in high school when I was a senior, and I don't even know if I hit the high B flat. Or I missed every note. My favorite is I miss every note on the way up to the B flat, and then I only hit the B flat because I'm only worried about hitting the high note. So there are bigger things to worry about than the high note. But let me think if I have any tips for you. The thing that I do now for runs, I was doing this earlier with my articulation exercises, is I try breath attacking each note of the run, okay, or of the scale. So let me take the beginning of Mozart 2. So in order to play a run like that, what I used to do was I made every note really separate and staccato. That is really hard to do. That is actually, I can't even believe I hit all the right notes. The easiest way to do it is, like, you could probably play a slurred version, right? If you practice it a lot, I bet you, I mean, you can do a slurred version, okay? I bet. And so if you try breath articulating every single one of the scales, so what does that sound like? You can actually feel in your support how much engagement it really takes to play the higher notes. I think that, like, the engagement of your, like, tummy when you go to play high notes on brass instruments, for me on horn, it, like, doubles to get from an F to a D, and then D to G it doubles again, and then G to high C it doubles again. So it's like 8 times as much support to play a high B flat than it is to play at the bottom of the staff. I also like this fingering. Da, 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 da. So for G, I do trigger 1. So it's just trigger 1 to trigger open for the last 5 notes of the scale. And you just speed up the breath attack version. Ha 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 ha. And then you just add articulations. Just add articulations. I say that like that's easy, but honestly, in high school, I couldn't do it. So try this breath attacking exercise. 1, open, 1 and 2, 1, open, 1, open, 1. Yeah, exactly. And you usually have trouble hitting the high A. Yeah, I find high A is a really tricky one for me as well. The two things is sometimes my lips are too far apart, and then I'm not blowing fast enough air, okay? And if your lips are too far apart, you'll never be able to, like, blow enough air to, like, make the right note come out. So to make sure that they're really close together and relaxed before you play the first note. So that low note, sometimes people really open up to play that at the beginning of that phrase, you know? And then it's really hard to get up to the high note. But what if you were able to play... If you played the lowest note, the first note of the phrase, with the lips set for like an F at the top of the staff, or even a high B flat, how would that change things, Sumio? How would that change? Would it be easier? Would your lips already be in the right position for the high note? And then all you have to do is really speed up your air. Izzy, trombone player, welcome. Yeah, we're talking French horn. We're talking French horn nerd stuff. We're talking about Mozart and how to play high notes on brass instruments. How long have you played trombone, Izzy? Yeah. So, yeah, scales on horn. The trick, this is the hardest thing about Mozart, is that you're trying to make it sound easy. But how do you make something that is hard to do sound easy? And that's the trick of it. Take care, Abel. Right? How do you make something that's hard sound easy? For that phrase, you try to set up your lips for the high B flat at the G before the run. All right. Right there. So what I'll say about that is, like, usually when I'm making a mistake in music over and over, the problem I'm having is not with that one note. it's usually not that I'm making a mistake for that one note, like the high A or the high B flat. It's usually I've made a mistake further back in the music, right? So what if Sumil you also set for the phrase before that, you know? The one that starts you set for that one with the same like high B flat lips, right? That, and sometimes you run out of air by the top of the scale, and it's way easier to play high notes when you have a completely full tank of air. Hello, welcome. Yeah, so yeah, when you high notes are way easier when you got a full tank. So take a really full tank before it and set high. And I know I've already overloaded you with information, but I will throw one last thing. I used to always play with like a dark sound concept, but when I play high notes now that I've, you know, I've played for almost 2 decades, I try to play with a bright sound. No, really like light. And what does that mean? I don't know. Depends on the person, but it usually means that I'm blowing faster air. And there's less room in my oral cavity. My tongue is really far forward and arched. Anyways, now that I've gone way too off the beaten path for French horn nerddom, I'm probably gonna go. So it was a great warm-up. Thanks for tuning in, you all. Sumil, keep it up. Keep it up. Way to go. You're already playing Mozart 2 and you've been playing horn for a couple years. Good for you. You're way ahead. I mostly did Mozart rondos from I think 3 and 4 when I was your age, probably 4 the most. So good for you. Keep it up. All right, take care, everyone. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, cheers, everyone.